Well, US Nationals is a wrap. I just got back myself last night from the event in Minneapolis, and I'm going to give you all my opinions, my thoughts on how it went, on the state of the metagame, on the event and how it was run in general. Let's talk about it. I'll start with my experiences. I showed up on Thursday, started playing on Friday, and played basically every single day, and a couple of fun events, and also the calling. If you didn't notice, I kind of stopped making content the last week leading up to this because I was playing games on just about every hero I thought would cut it in the meta. I played a bunch of games on Zen, found out that I just did not enjoy that deck. I did not enjoy that playstyle. I did not enjoy Bonds of Ancestry into Descendant, into Bonds and Descendant. So I did not play that deck at any of the events this past weekend. I also played a bunch of Azalea, a bunch of Riptide, and I thought both of those were pretty fun. Both of those were fairly well positioned, more so Azalea than Riptide. But I built Riptide because I figured if I was going to play one of the two, I might as well play the one that I got to spoil. And I fiddled around with a list for far too long and just never settled on something that I personally enjoyed, so I dropped it, and in the last possible minute, I said, I'm just gonna play Kano because I love playing Wizard. And the moment I made that decision, I felt just a peace within myself. A Zen state was achieved. I played like 3 games on Kano, and I said, yep, this is what we're doing. So I got that together. I put together my Emperor list again last minute after maybe fiddling around with Zen in Blitz. So I had a Blitz deck in the form of Emperor, which is a wizard, and I had a CC deck in the form of Kano, which was a wizard, and I resigned myself to playing wizard the entire weekend. So when I got there, I played on Friday, I played in a CC event. On Kano, went 2-2, shook the rust off, felt very good. Played a couple of games with my opponents after the first game ended, either me winning or losing, and that helped a lot. So I ended at technically like 3-2, 4-2, depending on if you want to count those second games, but the final record was 2-2. Splitting with Azalea, I played Azalea first round, lost, played Azalea second round, won, played a Slab Dash round 3, lost, and then played a Kasai round 4, won. So those worked out. And then after that, I played Blitz and I played Emperor, and holy crap, I had not been playing Blitz for, I don't know, several months at this point because I've been playing CC exclusively. Blitz is in the best state that it ever has been, period. Blitz right now is so underratedly fun that I kinda hate that this next skirmish season will include Living Legend format. That is my first hot take of the video. Mark it down in the comments so that other people can take it. I very much love Blitz right now, and I hate that people aren't going to experience this Blitz format because of the stigma that Blitz has gained, unrightfully so. This is perhaps the best Blitz format we've ever seen, and people are going to choose to play Living Legend instead of Blitz, which could be fine too. That could be fine as well. But I just think that that's a disservice to the Blitz format because Blitz is really fun. I played Emperor, as I mentioned, and I believe in that first event I went 2-2 as well. I won against a KO, the original KO. I won against something else. I don't remember. But the more interesting games were I lost a close one against a new KO, which was really fun. I won against a new KO as well. That's what it was. So I beat an old KO and a new KO, lost against another KO, and then a very squeaky close mirror in the Emperor versus Emperor mirror. That was a loss as well, but I learned that Arena's Prayer is really good, so I put Arena's Prayer into the deck, and that helped a lot in my following Blitz event, which we'll talk about on Sunday. On Saturday, I played in the Calling, and I immediately rattled off 4 wins in a row. And that was pretty funny because as a content creator, people generally look at me and think of me as not a player of the game. And so when they ask if I play in the Calling and I say, yeah, I'm having a blast, and they say, have you dropped yet? And I say, I'm 4-0, then they do this thing. and then they're excited for me. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. I know you think I don't know how to play the game. I understand that. It comes with the territory, sadly. When this number is like there, people think one thing, and the stereotype exists. It's the same thing with commentary. When I do this video stuff, people think that I don't know what I'm talking about. I understand. Yeah, leave a comment down below if you don't think that. Sure, I will believe some of you, but I understand where I'm coming from. This is I took off the baby face DM Armada hat, now I'm putting on the heel hat. I see all of you, and I know your reactions when you go, oh, go, yeah, yeah, cut that crap out. I know how to play the frickin' game. Anyway, so I went 4-0 to start off. I lost 3 games after that, so I'm very good at going streaky, but the 3 games that I lost were against some fantastic players, and they played the matchup quite well. Playing as Kano, I know very easily if my opponent knows how to play against Kano and knows how to make the right choices against the deck. And unfortunately in those 3 games, I didn't find the things off the top that I needed, and my opponents correctly assessed that they needed to race, and they found pure molten gas fire. The first loss that I had was against a Zen. In fact, I had won against a Zen previous to that. And the 4 wins that I had were a Kano Mirror, won the Kano Mirror first round. Second round, I won a Vincent game, which I had to just get lucky on a little bit and find things off the top. And so I put together a really strong double Wildfire line, hoping that I could bait out the first set of Spell Void equipment and then use my second Wildfire on a subsequent turn. But I ended up being able to string both of them together. Had one in arsenal, one in hand. And so I was going to go 1 into the second one the next turn, but I ended up finding like a red spell on top, and so I was able to go 1 into the other into the red spell plus 1 other thing, which was really good and very powerful. But that was a tough matchup that you usually lose, that we ended up assessing correctly and then playing to our outs and finding the outs, so good for us. One against a KO, who tapped out on turn 1, and then I was able to Wildfire, which I found, on turn 0. They put me on the play, and so I found at turn 0, and sometimes you just find the power, so I played a post-combo game from there and won that quickly. One against a Zen, that one was really close, and he made a couple of small errors that allowed me to kind of combo and find it from probably way higher than I should have. So that one was the 4th round. Then I lost against a Zen who did the exact right thing, playing into that matchup, and I didn't find enough fire fast enough to put him low enough to be able to combo him even through his disruption, which was quite well played. Then I played a Bolton, so I played Phil. That was really cool to see. I've talked with Phil a lot on the internet, on the old Discord, so I played against Phil, and he was on Bolton, and he knew, again, exactly what he needed to do. He told me as we were playing that he played against a lot of Kanos locally, and he found exact gas, went like 14 damage into 16 damage into 16 damage into lethal on the stack, make me have it. And that is very good when I end up finding potion on the first 2 turns instead of actual damage. So that was a loss. And then weirdly enough, I lost to a very great Hatchet Story player who also found the pure unadulterated gas. He also knew what he was up against and knew how to play the matchup quite well. And he found a Spillblood on turn 0 into Spillblood on turn 2. And between that, he found Blade Flurry. Oh, both of those were triple axe turns. And then he found Blade Flurry in the swing. So those are the types of lines that you kind of have to take into Kano, and then put yourself pretty close to just like saying, if you have me on turn 1 or turn 2, so be it. And I think that's the right way that both of those players took those matchups, and it ended up paying off for them because they picked up the wins. I didn't end up playing round 8 because I was told that after 6 and 2 there weren't going to be any top cuts to day 2 on like 5 and 3, but then it turned out there were top cuts to day 2 on 5 and 3. So then I kind of regret not playing the last round because people told me, don't worry about it. Whoops, I guess I should have played, because my only losses were 5, 6, and 7. So that was pretty decent, like breakers. Nevertheless, not a big deal because I had a blast playing those games. And then finally on Sunday, I played more Emperor, and I went 3-1 in Blitz. I lost to an Enigma New Moon round 1, and then I beat. This is crazy. I beat a Blaze Firemind, which is just what that actually worked out. There's some tech in there. Turns out Arena's Prayer is very good in that matchup. I beat a Briar the final round. So Briar, that's like the best deck in the format. And we managed to get there with Emperor, which was pretty good. Turns out Metacarpus nodes lets you win that matchup from 10, which is pretty solid. And then I beat, I think I beat like a KO as well. So I ended up going 3-1 for the final thing that I played that weekend. Recorded some videos as well. And it was an absolute blast to play in the event. As far as the event was concerned, I thought it was run quite well, again, by Star City Games. I will say I had no issues personally with any events whatsoever, with anything firing, with any like how to, get into events. It all made perfect sense. I do know one person that through a couple of like weird happenstance things that they didn't manage to play one of their battle hardened like rounds because they couldn't hear the announcement. It was very echoey and boomy and loud in there. It's a pretty nice space though. I think the space was great. I think everything with regards to like the setup and the location, there was like pretty decent food like right outside at a little cafe. So everything like infrastructure wise was good. There were bathrooms that were very easily accessible. So that was good. The prize wall was fine. I think the prize wall could get punched up a little bit. I think they ran very quickly out of the nice playmats, like the fancy Transcend playmats, but I don't think that's a bad thing. They had some really cool framed like posters with uncut sheets. Like they made uncut sheet posters of like the new set, which they've been doing for a while, and those just look really nice, and they're way easier to transport than what the giant uncut sheet. So I think that's an improvement. But outside of those, it was like the cold foil tokens, which I did get my hands on a gold cold foil token, which feels really good now to have a cold foil gold to throw into Kasai. I got that for my 1,200 tickets, but outside of that, there was just like a lot of packs, and that was about it. Like the oversized cards and stuff like that. They had the tumblers, the Stanley Cups on there as well. You could get those, but those were like merch store stuff. I'd love to see more merch on the booth as well. That'd be really fun. I think people are enjoying the merch, and I don't know. Leave a comment down below if you like the merch. I personally very much do like the merch. I think it's very cool to be able to rep. I got a hat. Where's the? I don't know where my hat is. I got an LSS hat, so that one's pretty sweet, and I very much like that hat. Yeah, more merch. I'm all for that. As far as the rest of the event is concerned, I was very sad to see that there was no artist alley. I love when artists come because I will have artists sign literally any card that I own. If I own it and they did the art for it, I would love to have them sign it. So I brought my like sketchbook as well, but unfortunately there were no artists there. What I think probably ended up happening was that, from what I've been told by other artists, is that what LSS does is they basically say, if anyone's interested in coming out to this event, we will make space for you, that sort of thing. And then any artists that are in that area or regional or even further, if they want to go to a big event, will say, yeah, we'll be there. And then they take care of like getting, their stuff together and kind of settling in. So if that is the case, if that's the normal standard operating procedure, then it could just be that no artists were, available or able to make the flight out to Minneapolis specifically this time around. So it's probably a little bit of that, I would imagine. If it's not that, and there's something else that somebody knows about why there wasn't Artist Alley, let me know that in a comment below. But it's probably nothing too serious. It was just sad to not see that there. And I haven't gotten around to watching the coverage back, but I heard the coverage was quite good. I mean, the commentary team is just like top notch. Like those are good commentators on there. And when Mansan's running something, coverage is always bound to be good. But again, I haven't had a chance to watch it because obviously I was playing at events and at the actual event, enjoying the event itself. Now, on to the meta, if that's what you've been waiting for. Zen. Quite popular this weekend. I think everybody expected him to be the breakout deck after everything that's been leading up to this point. He kind of was the breakout deck already. It turns out, yeah, he's quite good. But I want to point this out, and this is something that I don't think a lot of people will actually be talking about. All three of the main events this past weekend were won by different heroes. Yes, National Championships was taken down by Zen. The Calling was taken down by Azalea. And the Battle Hardened was taken down by... No, maybe it's the other way around. the Battle Hardened was taken down by Kano. I think it was that three. Nevertheless, Kano, Azalea, and Zen were the big winners. Zen was very highly represented across the board, and within the top 8, I should say, and very, very potent. If you watch the finals game, that game could not have gone better for Andrew Rothermel as far as RNG is concerned. After all is said and done, it is still won by Zen. Still just the pedal was put down. Even when put into the back corner, Zen just goes, yeah, I'll just win. Because Zen's pretty good. So as far as like Zen's dominance, I would say it's definitely a thing to consider, and it is definitely potent. He is a dominant deck in this format and should perhaps stand alone as the best deck in format for the foreseeable future. Things to do against him: hand disruption in the form of pummel. I think guardian disruption in the form of those crush effects are certainly considerations. His existence allows Victor to still exist in a format where he probably wouldn't, which is kind of cool. I actually very much like that, because deleting a class from a format does not feel good. Doesn't matter what class it is, deleting a class from a format never feels good. So I kind of like that for the Guardian players, and as someone who played a bunch of Kano, I'm okay with playing a Guardian here or there. I think it's a pretty fun matchup, so I would like them to exist in the format going forward. I think the fact that Zen will continue to be the best deck in format regardless of what rises up to try and meet him means that there's going to be arguments for bannings and things like that. I don't necessarily think that something huge needs to happen. I will say this. I would say leave it as is. That's what I would do. I would say leave it as is. It's okay for a hero to have their time in the sun and to be a very strong, very good best deck in format. If you wanted to change something, I don't think you can affect the Bonds line. I don't think you can affect the Dishonor line. I don't think you can change Descendant. I don't think any of those things can be changed. In my opinion, you can't touch Traverse. That card is too important for the other two heroes as well, and it's just a really like fancy, beautiful extended art card that would feel quite bad if they touched it right away. I mean, it's the same argument for Crown of Seeds. Like, you don't touch a legendary so that people can play that legendary in their favorite heroes, right? But now that Crown of Seeds is no longer being played by a hero, you could touch it because it makes a ton of sense. No one's actually playing with it since the heroes aren't available for it in the format unless you're playing it in Blitz and Briar. You know, like that's your only option. If you're going to touch something, if you wanted to touch something, you could take out Stride of Reprisal. Remove the boots so that you can't get a Tiger, so that you can't play Art of War and banish the Tiger for a free card draw. Like, that's a fine touch that pulls his power down a little bit. Now, if you're playing Art of War, you actually have to get rid of a card in your hand, and you can't have this this just like free Tiger, free like just drop. It's basically what Chain had. Like, when you look back at Chain and the meta that he played into, when he played Art of War, he would banish like Bounding Demagon, and you had access to playing Bounding Demagon if you play a non-attack action. So you're not losing that card, you're just netting 2 extra cards. It was way better for him, but it's not that much worse for Zen to be able to drop a Tiger into the old banish zone to draw 2. That is probably a place you could look at touching if it's even necessary. But I will say he will do quite well in all of the other nationals that are going to be taking place starting next week and rolling until the end of national season. He's going to rack up points. That is the intriguing part of this whole affair. Where will he fall at the end of it all? Will he be sitting with, you know, halfway to victory in the LL format, basically? That's the really interesting aspect of it. And there's also some side talk about like what he's going to do for the LL format. Maybe the LL format is now, you know, Zen favored in a lot of respects, being able to just do some crazy things and have access to stubby hammerers. That might be kind of fun to look at as we leave national season and go into a skirmish season, which has LL format available to it. So that's something to keep your eye on with this hero. I think he's very good. He's the best deck in the format, as many people have alluded to. It was shown this weekend. It will continue to be shown throughout the Nationals weekend. And he may end up with a fair chunk of points at the end of Nationals moving into the next set. And that's probably what we should talk about finally. There's a new set on the horizon, and that new set was spoiled at the end of the stream. It's Rosetta. It has 2 wizards, and I will never financially recover from this. I am so excited. I am about to book my tickets to go to Tampa. If you want to go to Tampa and play Wizard with me, and Runeblade, of course, Wizard and Runeblade with me, leave a comment down below. We'll go together. We'll play together. We'll do something together at Tampa for the world premiere of Rosetta. I'm going to make an entire video on my thoughts on Rosetta, talking about 2 new wizards, 2 new Runeblades, what those Runeblades do, what the wizards might do, how it's going to affect everything. I have, I've staked my claim as saying I am a wizard main, if you will. I kind of have always been a wizard main, and Kasai lured me into, the warrior lifestyle for the past few months. But even before that, I was on wizard and illusionist and really just Dromai. Wizard and Dromai. And the wizard life calls. So this is going to be a very special set for me, because it is right up my alley. And I'm just going to say it. Look, I'm just going to say it. I want to do more commentary for Flesh and Blood. Flesh and Blood, if you need more commentators, I want to do more commentary, and I love Wizard. And if you need someone to commentate some Wizard games coming up, thanks to Rosetta coming out, hit me up, because I will definitely do that, because I love it. I love Wizard. Wizard's so good. All in all, I think this was a great event. It was so fun to get to see all my friends again. If we got to meet each other at Nationals, leave a comment down below so I can remember and reminisce with you all those times that we had together. We were so young. We were so innocent before there were 2 new Runeblades and a Protoss that's a wizard. Before then, we got to get together and reminisce. So leave a comment down below telling me where we met, what we got to do, what we played together. I had some great opponents. There's some really fantastic people, and that is the hallmark of this game. It's great people and great games. So that's my recap of this recent event. A little bit long-winded, a lot more talky of a video, but you know what? Sometimes that's okay, especially coming back after a little bit of a hiatus. If you enjoy this type of content, make a number go slightly higher so that we can see numbers going up, because I heard when they go up, people get happy. That's what I heard. I don't know. Someone said that to me once. As always, thanks for watching.